In this episode of Inside AFIMSC, the Air Force Services Center welcomes a new commander. The Air Force Security Forces Center launches a new military working dog kennel health assessment project. And the Air Force Civil Engineer Center is moving forward in its fight against PFAS contamination. All this and more in this episode of Inside AFIMSC. The Air Force Services Center welcomed Colonel Christopher Parrish as the center's new commander. He accepted the command guidon from Major General Tom Wilcox, AFIMSC commander, during a ceremony streamed live on Facebook July 20th. Colonel Christopher Parrish replaces Colonel Donna Turner, the center's longest-serving commander, who held the position for 4 years, providing much-needed stability in the aftermath of many organizational changes. For more information about AFSVC, visit the link on the screen. The Air Force Security Forces Center launched its Kennel Health Assessment 2.0 project recently to study the state of all the kennels across the Air Force to ensure the well-being of military working dogs. The goal of the project is to develop a digital tool that will help security forces decision-makers assess mission needs and invest funds based on data. The dashboard will show information on unit standards on sanitation and preventative health measures, such as food quality, water supply, waste disposal, vaccinations, and proper training for kennel personnel. The tool will allow users in the field to update data in real time to keep the information current. For more on this story, visit our website. AFCEC's Air Force Base Realignment Enclosure Program is moving forward this summer in its fight against the contaminant PFAS. Over $15 million in contracts have been awarded between the former Wordsmith Air Force Base in Michigan and the former Pease Air Force Base in New Hampshire to conduct the remedial investigation phase. This phase will provide critical information on the nature and extent of PFAS and PFOA in soil, sediment, surface water, fish, and wildlife. It includes a risk assessment to determine whether the contaminants present unacceptable risks and further identifies what is needed for a comprehensive cleanup at the former bases. According to the Chief of the Air Force's Base Realignment Enclosure Program Division, Dr. Stephen Termath, these investigations take us one step closer to fully understanding the nature and extent of possible contamination and helps us prepare for actions we may need to take. This is part of our commitment to protecting human health and drinking water supplies on and around all of our bases affected by our former Air Force activities. The Air Force Installation Contracting Center has achieved its goal of driving down the cost of large commodity buys for the Air Force by $2 billion, and the AFICC team did it 8 months ahead of schedule. The center captured and validated cost savings and avoidances using the AFICC Cost Savings Tracker, a tool established in 2017 that tracks the amount of cost savings units achieve through sound analytic practices, strategic sourcing principles, and strong business acumen. The program hit the $1 billion in savings milestone in early 2018. They reached the $2 billion goal when the 374th Contracting Squadron at Yokota Air Base, Japan, logged $2.5 million of savings on the purchase of leased railway tank cars to transport jet propellant. AFICC leadership has now challenged the operational acquisition community to keep saving taxpayer dollars, setting their sights on reducing costs by $3 billion by the end of 2021. And finally, AFIMSC Commander Major General Tom Wilcox announced our second quarter award winners. Congratulations to these top performers! And that's what's happening in this episode of Inside AFIMSC. For more news and information, connect with us on Facebook or go to our website at www.afimsc.af.mil.